And we are back. Welcome back, everybody, to Beyond the Tool Belt, episode 313. I am your host, Ty Cobb-Backer, and thank you for joining us on this Wednesday edition. We will be right back after a short intro from our sponsors.
TC Backer. Roofing, siding, windows, gutters, solar. Roofing, siding, windows, gutters, solar. TC Backer.
This isn't motivation, it's reality. Built in the trenches, forged through mistakes, paid for with scars, no shortcuts. Just real leaders doing real work. Every week, we pull back the curtain on the weight of real leadership. If you're still standing, you belong here. Please welcome your host of Behind the Tool Belt, Ty Cobb-Backer.
And we are live. What's happening, everybody? Merry Christmas Eve, everybody. Man, 6 years, 1 week. Coming up on our 7th year. We only have 51 weeks left. 51 weeks, 51 episodes of Behind the Tool Belt until we reach our 7th year of Behind the Tool Belt. And I must say, we've crushed it. We've wrecked it. We've broke it. We've fixed it. We rebuilt it. And we're still standing. We're still here. And I'd like to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Today I want to talk about something that's probably not aired enough. And I think it kind of coincides with our number 6 core value. And I don't know if I've ever necessarily talked about or brought up or mentioned our core value, competitive greatness. But I'm gonna touch on that a little bit later. I'm gonna bring that up because I really think what I want to talk about today kind of aligns well with that. And I think finishing it off strong and not letting up, not necessarily letting myself go into vacation mode yet because the year's not over yet. Like a lot of people, I think, out there, especially in our industries, kind of let up a little bit. And now is where we start watering all those seeds that we planted over the past several months and really start digging in and diving in and getting busy, as we approach the new year. That way we can come out of the gates swinging on January 5th, that Monday morning. We're going to have our shit together. We're going to have shit stacked up, and we're going to come out swinging. So I think with all the reflection that I've done over the past several months of how the year has gone and how we want next year to play out, and not that it'll be perfect in any way, shape, or form, but there's some things that I've really been thinking about, and some of that is making our wrongs right, and not just in business, but with family, with friends, with coworkers, even ourselves. Okay, and Christmas isn't about presents. It's about, for me, reconciliation, humility, forgiveness, and why not restoration? Considering the fact that we are in the roofing restoration industry here. So it's about restoration and rest, getting time, being present with your family and those that you love. And that's my goal this holiday season, is to be where my feet are and be present, and all those good things. And it's not about receiving, and that's a different topic for another time. And receiving is just as important as receiving. And I'm starting to learn a lot more about that. I'm not a very good receiver, but it's about the willingness to give back, including apologies, ownership, and grace. If we believe in growth, leadership, competitive greatness, like I mentioned earlier, and I'll dig into that a little deeper later. Then making things right isn't optional; it's required. And so, what does it mean? What does it mean to make wrongs right? And it's not saying, "I'm sorry you feel that way. That's just the way I am. I agree to disagree." That's not it. What it is, it's taking ownership without excuses. And that last piece there, right? Because I hear a lot of people take ownership, but then they got 15 excuses after. Oh no, it's my fault. But that's not necessarily taking ownership. That's still deflecting the blame onto something or someone else. Taking ownership with zero excuses is something entirely different. And it's a skill. And a skill is something that you can work on and get better at it and all that good stuff. But admitting when you are wrong, even when you're partially right, okay, being willing to have uncomfortable conversations, okay. In the Christmas story, it's about humility, God stepping down, okay. And leadership works the same way, okay. The best leaders step down emotionally to lift others up. And that's probably one of the biggest things I've learned over the years, okay, is not taking credit, lifting others up, stepping back, letting them do the work, letting them feel the fulfillment, letting them take the responsibility, letting them reap the rewards and feel that self-worth, okay, and not snatching that from them. Okay, and that's probably another topic for another podcast, which I'm sure we'll touch maybe a little more on that later. I'm not sure. We'll see where my mouth takes us on this Wednesday afternoon, on the eve of Christmas, the holiday spirit. So I'm going to try to define competitive greatness here a little bit. And then what I'll probably do is tell you exactly what I think, my interpretation, because a lot of people were sitting here probably thinking, yeah, we're going to go out and kick some ass. We're going to kick everybody's ass. Woo. Yeah. So competitive greatness isn't about domination. Okay. At least not along the lines of our core value. It's doing the right thing when it costs you. Okay. Holding yourself to a higher standard when no one is watching. Okay. And we all know what that is. All right. And it's choosing character over ego. And that is hard. God, is that hard? And this is bottom line. I've talked about this before, but anyone can win when it's easy. When things are going easy, you can win. Competitive greatness shows up when things are going wrong. Okay. And you decide to own it. Many things, I've made lots of bad decisions personally and professionally. And when things go wrong, I have to own that. I have to own it. I have to learn from it. I have to clean it up and I have to move on. But I think the most important thing is, owning it and learning from it. Learning from it is the biggest thing, and on a smaller scale, because I had some things in mind when I was thinking that right there, but on a smaller scale, it's like, just calling a homeowner back when you drop the ball. Okay. Apologizing to a team member who I've been short with. Okay. Having hard conversations instead of letting resentment fester or grow. Okay. So some of the areas that I have to work on and some of the things that I have worked on, is one of the areas is with family, because I have been the hardest on those who are close to me. I'm going to ask you a question. Is there someone out there that you need to call? Is there an apology that you've been avoiding. Okay. And these are some of the things that I've worked on this week. I have tried to clean up some of the wreckage of my past behaviors, things that comments that I've made. Could be anything. You know what it is. So anyhow, friends, pride kills relationships quicker than anything else. And competitive greatness tells me that I value this relationship more than my pride. Okay. Sometimes things aren't going so great at work. I take it out on my coworkers, my teammates, and see, this is where there's what I call leadership moments, where apologizing, publicly when I was wrong. Okay. Owning decisions that didn't work out. Okay. Trust is built faster through accountability than perfection. All right. So hold yourself accountable. Hold yourself to a higher standard. Okay. Your team doesn't need a perfect leader. Okay. Your family doesn't need a perfect dad. They just need a real one. Somebody that's going to own that shit when they're wrong and not die on that hill. And in business, customers forgive mistakes. Okay. I don't know how many countless mistakes that we've made, but what they don't forgive is avoidance. And that's the thing that I've learned, where if I can't make it on schedule, okay, is to pick up that phone the moment we've decided there's no way in hell we're going to make it. Pick the phone up. Don't give them a bunch of excuses. Give them a solid, decisive date of when you can be there. Okay. Because this is the deal. By the time you get off the phone, they may be pissed at first, but by the time you get off the phone with them, they're going to be relieved. They're going to know how to schedule their day, their week, or whatever it is. The sooner you can let them know. Okay. I would much rather have them pissed off at me for 5 minutes than 5 days of avoidance when I'm avoiding them. And cultures are shaped by what leaders tolerate in themselves. And I know that. I've watched it. I've seen it here. I've seen our leaders. I've seen it myself, where my behaviors are mirrored by those that are around me. I've watched excuses being made by our leaders, and then those under them using those same excuses. I've watched it. I've seen it. I've felt it. And you're only as good as what you tolerate, especially with yourself, right? So, and a lot of this ties back to what I call competitive greatness. Okay. And great leaders don't hide. Okay. They don't avoid shit. They correct, they restore, they grow, they learn from that stuff. Okay. So I got a Christmas challenge. Okay. I'm going to call it the Make It Right challenge. Okay. Before year ends, identify one person you need to make things right with. Okay. Make the call, send the text message, have the uncomfortable conversation. Trust me, you're going to feel like that 1,000-pound gorilla has been lifted off your chest when you do that. Okay. And this Christmas, don't just celebrate, grace, but practice it. Competitive greatness isn't how hard we push ourselves, isn't how hard we push others. It's how willing are you to humble yourself. So practice grace, okay? Especially if you want, a better family, a better business, better team members, a better team, a better department moving into the new year here, and it starts by making the wrongs right. That's where it all starts, so I was talking about competitive greatness here a little bit. And what we have here, it's called core values. We have 6 core values. We live and die by our core values. I've talked about our 3-legged stool before, where we have core values, SOPs, and KPIs. You can't have a 3-legged stool without all 3 legs. It'll fall over, just like this tripod here with the camera on it. And our core values is the foundation of how we create our SOPs, how we create our KPIs, and it took me a long time to articulate. I don't want to call it our last core value because they're ever flowing. They're not static. They are definitely very fluid. And so we created, and I got it from competitive greatness came from a great coach from the NCAA, John Wooten. And I read his book, Competitive Greatness, I don't know, several months ago. And I was going through some personal turmoil. I was at war. I was at odds mentally. Usually anything that's wrong is usually the only thing that's wrong is usually the 6 inches between my ears. So I was at war with myself, and I picked up this book. It was called Competitive Greatness. I did some research on John, and so I wanted to put into words on what I went through, what was the end result, and what came out of it. And along with our team here at work, most of it was professional stuff that I was at odds with. I was starting to doubt myself. And, if you're in business long enough, you'll go through ebbs and flows of victories, wins, losses, learning experiences, all these things. And I hit this, I don't even know what it was. This funk. I was in this funk for a while, and I just couldn't quite put my finger on it. There was just a lot going on. We were growing and bringing on new people and training. And I just felt like things weren't where they were supposed to be. And of course, I'm my own worst critic. And so I really wanted to get on paper what I was experiencing and what, as a team, as a family, as a company has gone through. And to us, competitive greatness means, performing at our best when it matters most. Okay. Competitive greatness is about finding peace in the hard battles and striving to give our very best efforts in every circumstance. Okay. It's not about defeating others. Okay. It's about challenging ourselves to rise above our comfort zone and embracing opportunities that test our character, our skills, and our resilience. Okay. We recognize that true greatness emerges in moments of pressure, just like a diamond. Okay. When others are counting on us, when the stakes are high, and when perseverance matters most. Okay. We don't shrink. We don't hide from the challenges. We don't avoid them. Okay. I talked about that earlier. We welcome them as an opportunity to demonstrate our dedication to excellence and to inspire those around us. This core value reminds us, okay, that success is not a destination, but a daily pursuit. By cultivating courage, grit, and passion for the game, whether it be life or whether it be business, we build a culture where individuals thrive under pressure. Teams bond in adversity, okay? And victories are earned through relentless commitment, okay? So here's what I'll leave you with. Okay. I'll leave you with this. I won't keep you guys on here all day. Promise you. But thank you for joining us. I see there's quite a few people on here commenting and all the good stuff. So I haven't necessarily rolled out that core value yet. So thank you, those from our team that are watching. And you got to hear our core value number 6. But here's what I'll leave you with. I'll leave you with this. As we head into Christmas and wrap up another year, okay, remember this. Competitive greatness isn't about perfection, okay? It's not about being perfect. It's about having the courage to own your mistakes, okay? The humility to make things right and the character that and the character to grow from. Okay. Hold on a second. I feel like I got a fuzzy every time we close that door. I got a freaking fuzzy in my throat. Fuzzies. As I see Howie. Where's Howard? Howard actually had to go home. Okay. So if there's any conversations that you've been avoiding, a call that you need to make, an apology that's overdue, don't wait until the new year. Do it now. Do it right now. As soon as this is over. Okay. Finish watching this first. Then do it. Okay. This season is about grace, restoration, and showing up for people that matter most. Okay. Because that's what makes you the wealthiest person in the world, is surrounding yourself around people that encourage you, love you, and that are healthy. Okay. And if you had anything to do with any of that, that in itself makes you the most wealthiest person today. Okay. So thanks for spending part, right, of your day with us at Behind the Tool Belt. Us and Vicky, me and Vicky and I. What do we got? A promo? Bob? Oh, yeah. And let's not forget about, we got next week, probably be flying solo. And then on December 7th, we'll have Bob Berg from the Go Giver. Yeah, super excited about that. So thanks for spending your day with me on Behind the Tool Belt. If this episode hit home, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Okay, so from my family to yours, Merry Christmas. Be intentional, be accountable, and when it matters most, choose competitive greatness. Till next week, you guys take care of each other. Merry Christmas.